Hey, black people, I'm trying to see if you guys can hear me and see me okay. Let me check. Telling me if you can hear me and you can see me. If you can hear me and you can see me, then let me know. Let me know. We are live today. We're about to get started here on Dr. Boyce TV. And as you guys know, we don't do the okie doke. We don't do the typical Negro stuff. We're here to generate power in the black community, which is something that people aren't used to black people having. We have people that are used to black people only getting opportunities through hopes and prayers and believing that if we kiss the right person's butt, then that might give us a chance to actually get something out of this country that we built. We built this country. We built, not only did we build this country, we should own this country. And a lot of people don't like that. They don't like when I say that. They don't like when I talk that way. But it's the truth. And the worst part about it is that you run into black people who don't like you talking that way. You run into black people who think that being too black is a bad thing. Well, I'm not interested in being afraid of being too black. I'm not interested in doing anything other than telling the truth. My number one goal is to just help us as a community to figure out how we can just get our piece of chicken. We have been denied for so long. We have been cut out, left behind, shut down, shut back, kicked back, stomped on, stepped on, just creeped on, all this other stuff. And I'm just kind of tired of it, and so if you want to know what types of black people I tend to roll with, it's black people who are also sick of it. If you ain't sick of it, then I'm not the person for you. If this white supremacy thing has worked out for you, then I'm not your guy. If white folks done been good to you and then gave you everything that you want and you're living the American dream without me, then I want you to keep living the American dream. I'm not going to make fun of you, but I will just say that the thing about dreaming is that dreaming usually means that you're asleep. And so some of us are asleep. We stay asleep. We don't want to wake up. We don't want to grow. We don't want to build. We don't want to get strong. And I'm here for the people that do. I'm here for the people that want something different. As I was talking to yesterday, I don't know if I told you guys, but I did something that was very unique for me. I actually ran a race. I ran a race that was literally 9 miles long. It's called the Hot Chocolate. And this race was crazy. It was cold. It was early. It was cold. It was brutal. The conditions were brutal, but I felt really good. And I'm excited because it was part of my fitness kick. I've been on the Black Health Challenge for about a year and a half now. Here I am 30 pounds later. Somebody says my volume keeps fluctuating. If my volume fluctuates and you're on Facebook, go to drboycetv.com. If you go to drboycetv.com, you should be able to hear me better. The reason the volume might be fluctuating could be because the rain. I was using my phone in the rain yesterday. And even though these iPhones are supposedly like, waterproof or water resistant, I think that there's something where maybe the volume's been affected or the audio's been affected because I was in the rain. Because y'all saw me yesterday. I mean, I was sniffling like a little wimp. After I got done, I was with my girl, the beautiful black woman that loves me. And it's hard. If you ever want to accomplish anything in life, find you a good black woman. That'll get you over the top. And I just started thinking about, life and all the things that we don't believe we can do, all the things that we are scared to try, the things that, other people tell us we can't do, all the obstacles we run into that make us quit, all the situations that make us question ourselves, just all the challenges that all of us go through. You ain't the only one. We all do. We all go through, I know I go through it all the time, every day. There are times where I question this, like when you're dealing, you're doing stuff with black folks and you run into situations where even black people are fighting with you and getting mad at you for trying to help them. It's very hard to do. You have to have a lot of thick skin for that. And so I will just tell you that, whatever it is that you feel that is right for you, that's for you, that God has decided is for you. If you are consistent and you don't stop, then you're going to get it. You're going to win. You're going to eventually get there. So I think that for me, the reason that they're running that 9-mile race was emotional for me was because it was about a year and a half ago. And I had to get a new life insurance policy. I always talk to you guys about wills and trust and estate planning and making sure that you make sure your family's good and all that. So I've been very big on having insurance policies in place and my will and everything to make sure my children are good, but also to make sure my business associates are good, to make sure that if I'm gone, like I've told them, I said, look, this would be a waste of time if I just die and all of this stuff that we're doing goes away. I said, so we got to make sure we have a plan in place so that if I get hit by a truck tomorrow, you guys have enough money to replace me. So I got all these policies in place to basically make sure that you know, like after I'm not here, you know, future generations can like watch these videos. They can benefit from any articles I've written. They can be a part of what we do in the Black Business School. You know, the Black Business School, we want that to be like the Harvard University for Black people. And so anyway, in my quest to kind of get all that done, I had to go and get a for life insurance. They come and they give you a blood test. They come and they want to check to make sure you're not dying, make sure you're healthy, all that stuff. Well, they took my blood pressure, and I was in Atlanta. I'll never forget. I was in Atlanta. I think we were shooting a movie in Atlanta. I think we were shooting the Black Love Blueprint at the time. And the lady at the you know, at the whatchamacallit, the lady from the insurance company, the nice Black lady, she was like, I need to take your blood pressure again. And I was like, okay, is everything all right? You know, and she was like, I'll let you know in a minute. So she took it again and she said, your blood pressure is really, really high. And it was so high that I could not even get the extra insurance policy I wanted. And I started doing my research on it. And like every other Black man in America, you know, I had this sky high blood pressure and everything else. So I kind of had to confront that, you know, and I was like, okay, you know, you got a choice, Boyce. Do you want to die or do you want to fix it? You know, and I said, I think I want to fix it. I don't want to die. So, you know, my significant other, she said, why don't you run? Like, start running with me. And I was like, I don't want to run. Like, it hurts. It's painful. My joints, like I haven't run for years, you know, and she was like, no, come on, Boyce, just run with me a little bit, you know. So I would run, walk, run, walk, run, walk. And what happened was I started slowly but surely getting used to it. And I started to actually begin to enjoy it because I didn't feel pressure to always keep running till I was out of breath. I would just run. And then when I got tired, I would just walk, you know. So literally, I'm a very slow runner. I'm not a fast runner. Nandy says, is the Black Love Blueprint out? No, that movie will be out this probably, I think, early in the springtime. That's when we're going to release it. So I'll let you guys know when the movie's out. It's called the Black Love Blueprint. And it's all about ending the gender war between Black men and Black women so we can love each other and build strong families, etc. So anyway, long story short, I've been on this journey for a while and running, you know, trotting really slow. I don't run fast. But the weight, like, it's falling off. It started feeling better once I started seeing that transformation and started realizing, hey, wait a minute, I can do this. And so doing this race, I did not expect to get emotional, but I got done at the end of the race and I started just kind of telling everybody, I was like encouraging them. And I literally started like kind of tearing up and I was like, oh man, what the hell's, I hate that. Right. And I think it's because in my mind, I ran into something that I did not think I could do. You know, I ran into something that I didn't think I had the discipline to do. I didn't think my body could handle it. I just didn't, you know, my mind had me in a cage, in a prison. And I did it because I kind of had to. And now it's like it opened up this whole nother world. You know, now in the morning, I don't even eat breakfast anymore. I make these smoothies with fruit and kale and all this, and it's so good. And the weight comes off. And then at lunchtime, I'll eat a salad and then I'll go running. I'll be like, oh yeah, we did 5 miles today. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to run a marathon. And I never guessed I'd be in that position. I never guessed that like my waist size would be almost as low as it was in college. I never guessed that I'd be stronger physically. My upper body is stronger now than it was when I was 20 years old. And somebody says my mic keeps going in and out. If you can't hear me on Facebook, just go to drboycetv.com. I don't know why. I'm about to shut off the Facebook feed because apparently something's wrong with my iPhone because it's giving me those weird issues. But it's a great transformation. So I encourage it for anybody who wants to make a change in your life, who wants to grow, who wants to evolve. Just get somebody that's going to push you out of your comfort zone. You know, we get too comfortable in the midst of misery. I think for Black people, our comfort zone is misery, you know, complacency, getting our ass kicked, being in last place, waiting for white Jesus, waiting for the white politician, waiting for the Democratic Party, waiting on somebody, waiting on Superman, waiting on somebody to fix everything. And we could do a lot of these things ourselves. And so if you want to know what I think about, that's what I think about every day. That's why every day I wake up and I just feel like I'm just ready. I feel I push myself mentally to be ready just for a fight. I know Blackness is a fight. Every day it's a fight. And you got to be ready to just like Ali, just be ready to come out swinging on that mug. But anyway, do this. Okay, so I'm going to get to the pennies conversation. Paul Charles says, can you get to the pennies, dude? I agree. You know, I'm gonna tell you what, Charles, I procrastinate sometimes. I beat around the bush. It takes me a minute to get to the point, and that's just kind of how I operate, man. I can't even apologize. But if a tangent is worth pursuing, I will pursue that tangent, and I cannot apologize for it. So I'm sorry, man. I'm doing my best, but we about to get it in. do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button if you're on YouTube, or if you're on Facebook or anywhere. Please hit the thumbs up button, share button, the like button, so that this Black intelligence will be pushed worldwide. Also, if you want to join our League of Intelligent Black People, you can go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. We ask you to consider helping us to fund the channel. Make a small investment, literally like the amount of money you probably spent going to McDonald's or Taco Bell, and in exchange, we will push Black media worldwide. We want to be the Black CNN. We want to be the Black ABC News. We want to be the Black, the Black NBC. We want to really have the ability to reach millions of Black people, and we are getting there. We are making tremendous progress. With your help, we can do even more. Anyway, okay, let's get back to it. Okay, so the URL is intelligentblackpeople.com. So if somebody could type that in, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. And I want to say what's up to Dual Victory. And I think I thought I saw Vicky Dillard up in here. I see Dual's always in here, man. I love Dual Victory. Tommy Reed. Okay, I don't see Vicky Dillard in here, but Vicky's usually somewhere around. And Vicky's a bad sister, and I love Vicky. So anyway, let me talk about this. Okay, so there's this story that 500 who saved pennies for 60 years, right? He saved his pennies for 60 years, and which was pretty awesome, right? It's a great story. It's a great, motivational story of the importance of savings. No question. Somebody said, I love this shirt. Oh, yeah, this is for Blag Enough. Blag Enough is our social media platform. So if you're sick of Facebook jail, sick of your freedom of speech being compromised on a regular basis, go to blagenough.com. This is blagenough.com. That is our Facebook for Black people. It is a social media network where there are tens of thousands of Black people on there right now who are talking to each other and chatting it up, and they ain't got to worry about getting banned because you used the word coon, or getting banned because you felt like you needed to use the N-word to make a point, or whatever, right? So Blag Enough is all about freedom of speech. It's all about freedom of Blackness and freedom of expression. That's what we do. So anyway, all right, so this man saved his pennies, right? He saved his pennies for 60 years. His name is, I'm reading this in the New York Post. It says, every penny counts, especially when they're saved for more than 6 decades. An unabashed penny pincher from Texas has saved every penny he's touched since the age of 17, and recently shocked his local bank by cashing in 500 pounds worth of pennies, right? So he had all these pennies, 500 pounds. So he goes to the bank, he's got all this stuff. It's like, he can't even carry it by himself. Probably had to get his friend's truck to take all the stuff to the bank. And they got the machines, right, where you can dump the money in and they all come out. I know this because I used to have a spare change jar. I used to put every time I came home, I would take my spare change. I still do it, actually. And I put my spare change into the jar, and you would be amazed how quickly that sucker fills up. It fills up so much that I can't carry, a lot of times I'll put it in a duffel bag. I can't carry that duffel bag because it's so heavy. And so you'd be amazed at how much money leaks out of your life every day. Like, you literally are giving away tons of money on a regular basis because we don't have cultures of saving, because we don't have a culture that sort of, pushes us to think about preserving money as opposed to giving money away. You got a culture that will tell you how to make it rain, how to go to the club, how to spend, how to look fly, but you don't have a culture that says, no, man, no, Black man, Black woman, you got to hold on to your paper. Your money is your protection. When you are Black and you broke, then you Black and broke. That's like being double Black, right? Like, being Black and rich means you can almost overcome most of your Blackness because they're going to treat you well because you got money and they got to come work for you. But when you Black and broke, then that's like Black to the second power. So you don't want to be double Black, triple Black, Black to the second power. You want to use your wealth as a way to free yourself from the condition that comes with being Black. So when you get money, Black people, here's what I need you to really do. This is me talking. I'm putting on my finance professor hat right now. Let's see if I got a hat. Hold up. I have a hat. I need my finance professor hat. Hold on. Okay. This isn't a hat. This is more like a ski mask. Okay, this is my finance professor hat. So I'm putting on my finance professor hat. Ski mask looks kind of bad. I'm a Black man. I probably look suspicious to y'all right now. Everybody thinks a Black man's a criminal. But this is my finance professor hat. So in my finance professor hat, what I want to tell you is that there is no such thing as Black spending power. There is no such thing as Black spending power. Let that go right now. Please let go. If next time some magazine writes and brags about Black spending power, I need you to join me in telling them in one clear phrase, just shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. There's no such thing as black spending power, because there is no power in spending. There is no power in being an economic hoe where everybody gonna come in and get some. Everybody's come, the whole neighborhood done passed you around. There ain't no power in that. There's no power in that. Okay? So I'm putting on my finance professor hat. I wear this in the winter when it's really cold. She's making me run this race called the F5. And it's where like 10,000 white people run 13 miles in freezing weather, like 5-degree weather. There are some black people out there too. Don't get me wrong. We got a great black run club in Chicago, but it's mostly white people. And they'd be out there running in shorts, tank tops. I don't know how they do it. I don't know. I would be scared that I was going to die if I was like, so I will be wearing this in the F5. All right. So let me take this off now. I'm taking off my finance professor hat. Okay. So there's no such thing as black spending power. I hope that we can agree on that. Okay. So here's the thing I want you to also understand. If you want black spending power to be real power, that must be converted into black investing power. Now that's power. That's power. Who has more power in their own life? Who has more power and more freedom? The spender or the saver and the investor? Who's going to have more freedom? Who's going to have a better life? Who's going to have better outcomes? Who can do what they want to do? You see, power starts with not so much you conquering other people. It starts with you conquering your own self, your own life, just controlling your own domain, your own territory, your own household. That's where power begins. So power does not mean imperialism. You ain't got to go take over other people's lives. But it does mean that you're controlling your own life. You got to be able to hold it down in your own fort. And you can't do that if you ain't got no wealth. If you don't stack your money, then you're gonna be conquered by somebody who has stacked money so they can come and invade you. Right? So like my boy Andre Hatchett at the blackrealestateschool.com says, you either own or you get owned. You either own assets or you become an asset, which will make you into an ass. Asset. Don't be an ass. Let me keep going. So basically this story says, okay, so he saved his money. This man from Texas saved. By the way, if you're on Facebook, I know the sound is going in and out. So if you want to get better sound, go to drboycetv.com, drboycetv.com. Make sure you subscribe. Everybody on drboycetv.com, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Take 1 second, please. Hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you want to connect via text, where I can text you when I go live, go to just text. Just get on your phone, text my name, Boyce, B-O-Y-C-E, to 31996. Text the word Boyce to 31996. All right. So this man's name is Ira Keys, great black man, 81 years old, from Slayton, Texas. He says his dad taught him the value of savings. He says, whatever you do, son, save your money. That's what his daddy told him. He had a good father, man. I love this. He said, back when I started in 1952, I didn't have a lot of money, so I saved pennies, and I just kept saving them. The Texas penny pincher said he never stopped keeping pennies. It's just a habit I've gotten into, and habits are hard to break sometimes, he said. But I don't think I'll have this many when I cash them in again. Carrie Lewis, a personal banker at Prosperity Bank, was stunned to see Keys' haul. We take pennies for granted, she said. You see them on the ground, and you're kind of like, oh, I'm not picking that up. But for him to collect it for years, that's pretty amazing. So basically, they spent more than an hour counting his pennies. He had 81,600 pennies, which is $816. Now, this is where I'm going to go. Okay, I'm going to put back on my finance professor hat, because this is like a hat. It probably makes me look ridiculous because I'm probably going to piss some people off right now, okay? So I'm putting on my finance professor hat again, and I'm going to break this down for you so that you can have a deeper understanding of this and why this article, unfortunately, kind of represents like Negroology 101. It's kind of like an example where you're trained to remain Negroes and never get a chance to be free black people. Now, this is not in any way disrespectful to this man who saved all this money. I mean, my God, God bless him. That's a great black man, okay? But here's the thing. They'll congratulate you for suboptimal behavior because in their mind, they're like, well, I mean, you're just a Negro. So the fact that you did anything that was remotely positive is astonishing. It's groundbreaking. My God, a Negro actually saved his money and he's not broke and begging in the street, right? And here's the issue. This is where we every generation we're supposed to do a little bit better than last generation. So this is what this is just a step forward. Because my grandma was like that. My beloved grandmother, the first person who taught me about compound interest, she actually used to say all the time, you got to save your money so your money can save you. She would tell me about the importance of saving your pennies, your nickels, your dimes, and just stacking your paper over time. But I need you to really kind of process this for a minute, right? This man saved for 60 years and he had $861, right? Now I'm gonna be serious. So I'm about to take off my hat a little bit because I don't want y'all to get distracted by my ski mask. And plus, somebody will probably call the cops because everybody think of black men are criminals. But here's the deal. Here's where I get a little concerned about this. If you clap, don't clap too hard, because what you're clapping for is a scenario. The word is spent most, but there was a huge opportunity missed by the fact that he saved that money and did not invest that money. Right? It's not his fault. Not his fault. They probably, his dad told him to save. His dad didn't say invest. Right? Now, mind you, though, there were black people in the 50s who did invest. There were black people in the 50s who did put their money into the stock market, who did, what Warren Buffett does and all that. So let's not think black people were always banned from participating in the stock market, that black people have just always been behind the 8 ball in terms of knowledge. You had some smart, triple smart black people in the 1920s. You had triple smart black people in the 1880s. Go read books like Men of Mark. Dr. Kevin Cosby, president of Simmons College, put me onto that book. This book was written in like the 1880s by a brilliant black man, William Fitzpatrick Simmons, who was writing about all the brilliant black people that existed at that time and how extraordinary black people are. So we ain't always been these little, we just doing our best trying to get back. No, that ain't always. That is not the definitive description of who we are, who we've always been as a people. Even in America, even in the midst of slavery and oppression, we've always shown our greatness. But anyway, here's the thing. I'm gonna do a little magic trick for you, and break this down for you. In my stock market investing class, I talked to my students about something called the future value of an annuity factor. What that means is that basically you can calculate how much money you would have if you took that money that you were just saving and had invested it instead, had just put it in the stock market. Warren Buffett did an article where he talked about how he invested $113 in 1942, and that money is now worth $460,000 today. It will be worth, by the time it hits the 100-year mark, it will be worth $6 million. So how do you turn $113 into $6 million? Well, you can't do that from saving. You can't do that from saving. That's like asking somebody, well, how do you walk from LA to New York in 5 days? You can't do it. It's not possible. You need a car. You need a plane. You need a helicopter. You need a bike. You need something, but you can't do it walking. So compound interest is the vehicle through which you can actually accelerate the growth of money. So let me drill in on this brother's scenario. And really, this is for the smart black people in the room, the people that want to understand how to take it to the next level. Okay, so if he saved 816 pennies over 60 years, that's about $1.13 a month. That's how he got to $816. If he had invested that $1.13 a month in the stock market, in like a my volume goes up and down, by the way, because on Facebook, on this phone's not working right. So just go to drboycetv.com. That's why the volume goes up and down. So go to drboycetv.com. I'm actually put this in here and pin it. So if he had taken that money and invested it in the stock market in a stock portfolio, I'm gonna answer that question 1 minute. Actually, let me go ahead and tell everybody on Facebook to go to drboycetv.com because you guys can't hear me and I don't know how to fix that. Let me see here. Hit the share button or the like button while I do this. Okay. All right, let me pin. There we go. All right. Okay. So here's the thing. So if he had put this money into a stock portfolio, like if he had invested it the way, say, a Warren Buffett would have invested back in 1952 or whatever the case may be, and had simply earned the same amount of money that you earned from the S&P 500 on average, even if he had randomly picked stocks, just didn't even think about which stocks he was picking, just randomly picked a bunch of stocks. Do you guess how much money he would have? He had $816 by saving his pennies. How much? I want you all to guess. How much money do you think this man would have had if that money had been invested in a random stock portfolio since or for that 60-year period? Somebody guess. Give me numbers. Somebody guess. Okay. I'm a Nike says $1 million. That's wrong. Too high. Anybody else got a guess? 350K. Greg Week says 350K. Nope. 8 million. Tommy Reed. No. Somebody said billions. Y'all being silly. Key Lime says 20K. 500K. All right. 600K. Well, here's the magic. Here's the number. The number is $113,102.83. This is how much he would have had if he had invested the same way Warren Buffett would have invested those pennies back in the 1950s. So you could look at it as, because of his discipline, he had an extra $816. And that's fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Ain't no shame in what this man did. He should not be embarrassed at all. Or you could look at it as, man, he gave away $112,000. That's $112,000. Now pay attention. Now, what does that mean? That means that if he had children or grandchildren, he could have $112,000 to give to them. Now, imagine if you had a grandparent that said, "Hey, son, I've been saving pennies since the 1950s. I put them all in the S&P 500. Here's $112,000 for you. I'm writing this check to you right now, and this is the sacrifice I made for you." What could you do in your life if you had an extra $112,000? Well, some of you could probably quit your job. You could start that business you were wanting to start. A lot of you could buy a home, right? etc. And in that what all those things do is that allows you to go from being a wealth builder for somebody else to being a wealth builder for yourself. Everybody's a wealth builder in America. The question is, are you building wealth for yourself or are you building wealth for other people? It goes back to this whole debate on voting we've been having all week. I've never debated the issue whether or not black votes matter. Black votes certainly matter. That's why they work so hard to get them. I've just talked about the benefit. I've said, look, we're the horse, they're the jockey. They ride us all the way to the billionaire's mansion, right? So my position has never been that black votes don't matter. My position has been, are black people benefiting from black votes? So the same thing is true when it comes to money and investing. Black spending power is only power for the people who receive your money when you go out and spend it. Black spending power will always be celebrated by your oppressor because they want you to go out and spend like a damn fool at Christmas time. Black spending power will be the number one thing on their agenda when they're having corporate board meetings saying, how do we sell more products to Negroes so our share prices go up so we can build more wealth for our children and give them a bunch of toys. We'll give them toys and Gucci belts and sneakers and whatever, and we gonna walk away with assets. Stocks and bonds and real estate. We're going to have stuff we can give to our kids. You won't be able to give a Gucci belt to your grandchild because your grandchild ain't going to want the Gucci belt. They're going to be like, that's old school. That's old fashioned. I need new fashion. Black people caught up in fashion. We're the most fashionable mugs that walk up in the room. And I'm sitting there like, who cares about that? The best black people in the world, the luckiest black people in the world are the ones who have parents that detach them from mainstream black culture. The luckiest black people in the world are the ones who had parents with the wisdom to detach them from mainstream black culture. Yesterday after the race, when I got done with the race, we went to this pancake house on the east side of Chicago that I love. It's a really good place. And I sat down and I was invited to sit with this brother and sister who the sister recognized me. When I go through Chicago, a lot of people recognize me on the street, and I love it, by the way. If you live in Chicago, I love you for it. Thank you so much. And she recognized me. She started talking to me, and her and her brother were sitting down before us. The place was really crowded, and they said, "Hey, you guys can sit with us and eat with us." And I was like, "Oh, great, let's eat." So we sat down and we ate together. And I was talking to the brother. The brother was like big and bulky, and I said something to him about football. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I assumed that because he's big, like he probably played football at some point, you know. So we were talking about, I was talking about Alabama versus LSU, and he was like, "Well, I've never really been into sports." And I was like, oh, so I'm the coon right now, I think, because I'm up here ready to talk about sports. And he was like, you know, he was into like computer engineering, right? And if you look at his life is not typical when it comes to what black men, you know, allegedly go through just by default. His life was not one where he was oppressed and feeling like, oh my God, I can't get ahead because white people won't let me. I'm illiterate because white people didn't teach me how to read, or I'm struggling because white men won't give me a job. This brother owned a house at the age of 30. He had already bought his first home. He was already on his way to building wealth. He already had stocks and bonds. This man was already on his way. So stop letting people tell you that there ain't no way for black people to get ahead. That's just some nonsense. That's not even true. That's just not true. And I think that's why I have an issue with the politicians, because I think they want you disabled, because they want you to feel that they're the only people who can help you. I don't believe that. I believe you can help yourself. I really believe you can help yourself. So breaking down this brother's pennies that he saved the pennies over 60 years. He raised $816, which is extraordinary. It's amazing. It shows tremendous discipline. But if he'd invested that money in the stock market instead, he would have had $113,000, which is generational wealth. Why? Well, because money deflates in value. Money automatically has this thing called inflation that kills the value of your dollars. So if you don't invest your money and make it grow, then the value of your money will automatically shrink. If I give you 20 grand right now and you say, I want to save this 20 grand, I want to hold on to it forever. Well, that 20 grand today, it will only be worth 10 grand in about 20 years. So if you sit there and you hold it, literally your money will just drop in value because you're not putting it in a position to grow faster than the rate of erosion. Like when Pablo Escobar used to make all that money as a dope dealer, he used to lose $2 billion a year because the rats ate the money. Well, the same thing is true. Inflation is like the little rats eating away at the value of your money. And if you don't make your money grow, then your money's going to depreciate in value. Okay. So that's my point. That's why I believe every black person should be an investor. Every black person should be an owner. Every black person should be an entrepreneur. In our children's business school, we teach the kids to keep your poise. Poise stands P-O-I-S-E. It stands for producer, owner, investor, saver, entrepreneur. These are the 5 areas that your children should have. This is what your kids need to be. This is how they get ahead. Don't go for the okie doke. The okie doke is the typical path is go to a white public school where they teach you how to be white. Do well in that school so you can go to a white university and they teach you how to be whiter. And then while you're at the white university, they're going to put you $80,000 in debt. And then you're going to go into the white economy asking a white man for a job, and they're not going to give you enough money to pay that debt. So at that point, you will become a sharecropper. That's what you'll be. You'll be a corporate sharecropper. We have a lot of corporate sharecroppers out here, and it's very, very important for you to avoid that outcome. All right, so that's it. I hope this was helpful to some of you, and thank you for putting up with me in my silly mood. This is my finance professor hat I had on earlier, and I'm not going to wear this hat anymore. So enjoy it while you can. And I think I was just in a silly mood, and I have to be careful because I'm a black man, so we're supposed to be all serious and stuff. And I don't want my friends like making fun of me. But in all seriousness, though, at the end of the day, I want you to win. You know, make good decisions for your family. Make smart moves when it comes to money. Don't fall for the nonsense that you're being taught on a daily basis, because that's going to lead you to failure. All right. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. One more thing. If you want to join our League of Intelligent Black People, go to intelligentblackpeople.com. That's intelligentblackpeople.com. Also, if you want to actually look at the Black Stock Market Program, where I teach stock market investing in a very detailed way, in a very interesting way, better than anywhere else. I think it's excellent. Join our students. We have lots of students in the program. You can go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. The first month does not cost you a penny, so you can join right now today, not pay anything. You get 30 days to try it out, and if you like it, then I hope you'll stay. And also, we have excellent customer service. We don't want anybody unhappy, so we have a customer support team right there that will answer your questions, that will take care of you if you need any help, and that's it. And they can give you money back and all that if you're not happy for any reason. So that's how we do things in the Black Business School. So feel free to join us, theblackstockmarketprogram.com, and hit that thumbs up button before you're done. I'm out of here, guys. I'll see you later. Have a good day. Peace.